Good morning, students. So, today we will start with the second poem of Hornbill, The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman. Let me first give the introduction of the poet. Walt Whitman, he was an American poet. He was born on 31st May 1819 in New York. He is widely considered to be the greatest and most influential poet United States has ever produced. At the age of 11, he left school to start working with a newspaper. Later, he worked as a journalist, teacher, and a clerk. During the American Civil War, he served as a volunteer nurse. And after that, he was engaged in publishing his poetry. Now let me give you the introduction of the poem. So this poem is a dialogue between the poet and the rain, where rain, calling itself the poem of the earth, it explains its life cycle. And the rain is personified in this poem. So now let us start with the poem. I'll tell you the meaning of the difficult words and the literary devices used in this poem. And who art thou, said I to the soft falling shower, which strange to tell gave me an answer as here translated. See, now thou means you, soft falling shower refers to the drizzling rain, the soothing effect of its pitter-patter sound. And the rain and the poet asks the rain. He expresses curiosity. He expresses his curiosity to know about the rain. And the poet asks the rain to give its introduction. And the rain, it discloses its identity. And it was very much strange. It was very strange. It was very astonishing. It was very surprising for the poet that the poet says that rain, it discloses, it tells, it gives its introduction to the poet. See, everybody knows that the rain is a phenomena. It is a process. It is not a person of flesh and blood. Isn't it? It cannot speak. And so, the poet also, he does not expect an answer from the rain. But he says, the rain, it gave its introduction. See, it is not that rain said something. It is the poet's poetic sensibility which could make out what rain said. Because of the poetic sensibility of the poet, he could make out what rain said. Which strange to it was astonishing for the poet, that it was surprising for the poet that he received the introduction, he got the answer from the rain, and now the poet, he has translated the answer, whatever the rain said, described. I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal I rise, impalpable out of the land and bottomless sea, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed and yet the same. Now see, first let us discuss the difficult words in this. Eternal is immortal, means amar. Impalpable is that cannot be touched, and bottomless is deep. Whence is where, vaguely is unclear form. And now see the first two lines, those two lines are by poet. And now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. First para, 2 lines are by poet And second and third para, this is the introduction the rain has given to the poet. Now the poet translates what the rain says. He says that the rain says, what rain says? That I am the poem of the earth. It means the rain says that due to the evaporation, it keeps on rising from the land and sea into the sky, where it takes an distinct shape of clouds. I rise impalpable means the rain rises from the surface of the earth and ocean, unperceived by the onlookers because of its vaporous nature. See these two lines, last line, altogether changed and yet the same. This is very important. Altogether changed and yet the same is, the literary device used in it is oxymoron. Changed and same. These are two opposite words. Oxymoron, it is a phrase, it is a literary device that combines two words that seems to be opposite of each other. And now it is, you can see it is very clearly given, altogether changed and yet the same. And now this is very important. And the poet says that the rain, it says on losing its liquidity and turning into vapors. When the rain, it loses its liquidity, and when it turns into vapors, rain assumes totally different look and character. See the character, the basic thing is the same, water, but its look and character changes when it becomes the vapor. Yet vapors and water are basically one. Both are water. Vapors are also made up of water. So basically they are one and the same thing. And they can get transformed into each other. So rain calls the clouds altogether changed and yet the same. Now next para. I descend to lay the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe. See, and now in this para, I descend to lay the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds, only latent, unborn, and forever. By day and night I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. Write down the meaning of the difficult words. Descend is to come down. Lave is to wash. Droughts is a long period without rain. This is सूखा पड़ता है. Atomies are tiny or small particles. Latent is hidden. Unborn is which is not born, and it here refers to the life. And now the rain says that I come down to wash the draughts, small particles, and settle dust layers on the globe. Means the rain helps in creation of new life on the earth. Rain helps in creating, or it creates a new life on the globe. And the rain says that without me, seeds will remain seeds. They would not grow. And they would remain hidden and unborn. And everybody knows, for the plants we need water. That is, the water is the basic thing due to which the plants grow. And the rain says, the seeds without me will remain unborn. They will be hidden. They get rain. It means rain has the generative quality. It generates the things. Rain gives back life to its own origin. When it falls on the earth, its life comes to an end. At that very moment, when it falls on the earth, At that very moment, however, the process of evaporation begins and these vapors turn into rain. This cycle, this water cycle goes on. Thus the rain gives back life to its own origin. In this way, rain keeps regenerating itself. It purifies, it beautifies its origin. The entire environment gets bathed in the rain and the dust particles, they all settle down. Now, for song issuing from its birthplace, after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Now see, one thing, if you have noted, these two lines are put within brackets. Why? Yes, I'll tell you. Because these lines appear to be an afterthought of the poet. However, there is no denying the fact that both the rain and song have great affinity between them. Means why these lines are within bracket? Because these are not voice of rain. These are poet's thought. He compares rain with music. Here the cycle of rain lives is compared to a song. Just as initially rising from earth in vapors, the rain comes back to the earth. The song also, starting from the point of its origins, resounds and its echoes is heard in the same place. So, the poet, he wants to say that rain's journey has been compared to song, to poem that emerges from the poet's heart and travels from person to person, finally returning to the poet's heart. It starts, the poem or the song, it emerges, it comes out from the poet's heart and it finally returns to the poet's heart. In the same manner as rain, so bringing with it the love of the listeners. Similarly, the rain rises from the heart of the sea. Now, this is the end of the chapter. If you face any problem, you can call me and you can clear your doubts. Thank you. Have a nice day.